May 23rd, 2024. How's it going, guys? Well, I got another video for you. And what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about I'm looking for a part for my car and have not been able to find it. I'm going to show what that is here in a second. I was going to put a clutch in my car there and have not been able to find this part anywhere on the planet. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So hold on. Okay, guys, so what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking at my transmission, standard transmission. It came out of a 2004 Suzuki, as some people would say an Aerio, or I call it a Rio, A-E-R-I-O, is a 2004. And I thought this would be a simple deal. Now, the car, when I bought it about 6 years ago, gave $900 for it. It's been really dependable. But the problem of it is this clutch fork. Can't find one. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to show what caused the problem in the first place. Now, Suzuki, supposedly, 50% of these failed. And I guess because they didn't weld them all the way around. Now, I don't know. I've seen different things on vehicles where they've spot welded. And if the spot welds are done correctly, they last no matter what. But as you can see where I got my finger right here, if we can see that, there's a crack. And it put basically the throwout bearing in a bind. So when it did that, it started chewing on stuff and it wouldn't shift. I thought probably when I bought the vehicle, the guy told me it had about 1/4 inch of the clutch left. Okay. And I just figured that maybe the clutch was going out of it, needed to be replaced. And now we're going to talk about trying to locate this. Now, let's see if I can do this here real quick, guys. Hold on. I wanted to give you another view to show you how this actually, that light up there, how it moves back and forth there like that. But this is also another funky thing, because this has, of course, it's got a bushing here and a bushing here that has to come out. And the special tool that goes for this, I have not been able to find anywhere either. Now, what I was going to do, I was going to probably take like a socket, cut the socket in half, and use the socket to knock that. It's probably a brass bushing. I assume it's brass. And I was going to show on the top of this. On this one, some of them only have like a C-clip. A lot of them will just have a C-clip with the brass bushing here. This actually has a rubber seal, too. Now, I don't know how far down that goes. Now, you could go about this two different ways. You could take a pick and go around there. Or, I was thinking you could probably even take a real fine little bit and drill down just a little bit here off to the edge if you needed to get your pick down in there, so you wouldn't damage this if you had to put this back in. Because I haven't been able to find the bushings either. Now, they do have the stuff for the automatics, but not the standards. And how would this be fixed? So hold on. Okay, now this here, the thing about this here too is this could be repaired. And you could do this old school. Now, with the ones all in this day and age, I guess they're not smart enough or bright enough to be able to do that. But you could actually heat this up. Get it back there first. And then you could re-spot weld this if you clamped it. And that would work, guys. But like I say, I did not think that this would be a big deal if you had to get this. Because they said 50% of them failed. If 50% of them failed, you would have thought there would have been a lot of these out there on the market. Not. So hold on. So now I got 2 brand new CV joints, a brand new clutch kit. Can't be returned because I ordered all the parts and pieces. I was trying to get everything together. I got the synchro mesh fluid for it. So that's pretty much a done deal. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I'm going to put this out one more time. I am looking for a clutch fork for a 2004 Suzuki Aerio, Aerio, however you want to say it. If anybody has one hidden somewhere out there, and I'm also going to need the brass bushings too. If give me a holler there on my email, eyes open 3 a.m. at gmail.com. Eyes open 3 a.m. at gmail.com. Now, I can do this several other ways. I could go out and I could buy another used transmission, put about another 1,000, 1,500 in this. But to me, the car, I was just trying to get it by for about another year. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm going to have to button it back up and just sell it for parts. If somebody out there, has another one that's running, and if you got a clutch one like that, you start having any problem with it shifting, you need to stop immediately and get it taken a look at, because I drove this for probably 3 weeks while it was doing that, because I just figured that the clutch was almost gone. And I didn't force anything, but when it cracked, like I say, it was cracked. And then it wouldn't hardly go into gear. I actually had to shift it in gear with it. I'm trying to think here for a second. With it, I think it had to be started, I think. Or vice versa, like I say. But the thing, it was, like I say, just another deal, guys. And I wanted to talk about where I tried to locate these parts too, here in Kansas City and all around the world. Now, there was a place in Australia that supposedly was making forks for every kind of model car on the planet, but they don't make it no more. You can, I think it's called something like Australian fork or something like that. If you look up Australia, you can find the deal on YouTube. And this guy even showed them installing one of these. Didn't show how they were taking them out. I'm going to show that in a second. Because on any vehicles that I buy or I work on, depending on what I'm doing, I get like a shop manual information. And I finally had to go back in here and look at this, because when I went to some of the transmission places, I wasn't getting any answers. No, they want $1,000 right off the bat to look at something. Well, the transmission was good in the sense that running, there was nothing wrong. Synchronizers on, and this thing ran smooth. It just all of a sudden, bam! It was like it wouldn't shift into gear, hardly. And I just figured, I'd heard stories where people sit on these front wheel drives, when they start to do that, clutch is going out. So when I got into this, I did not know or think that this fork would be a big issue, but it's been a big issue. On eBay, they show that they have them, but they don't have them. They have them for the Swift. Talked to a place in England, and no go there either. But the 1.8s will not work in the 2.3s on the Rios. But like I say, that won't work either. So I was going to say to at least 1 or 2 places here that were halfway helpful in Kansas City. If you guys need your transmission worked on, number one I would rate, check out Cotman Transmission, 23rd and Ellen Road. I talked to this guy, and seemed very knowledgeable. And there's guys, and I've worked with engineers and mechanics and everything else. There's some that are really smart and intelligent, and there's other ones that just, BS. This guy seemed like he was on the up and up. Like when we were talking, he said, now anything can be fixed. Yeah, anything can be fixed, but depending on how much you want to pay to fix it too. But he ran the deal, and he told me that basically the way their systems are set up here, they're hooked into like the different auto parts stores, like their warehouses and stuff, and they can check for all the different parts and stuff. He said you individually can go in to the other auto parts stores, and they can go more in depth, but most of the time you can pull up the part, but it showed nothing. which, I mean, they gave me some good solid information too. Like I say, Cotman, definitely. We did go to Amco. Amco, just to look at something, cost $950. Oh man, can you imagine that, just to break something down, $950? Well, I can break down stuff all day long for $950, but I don't know. I mean, that just seems to me a little bit outrageous. But transmission places, I mean, have always been high on certain things. But you know, like, I can't remember what's the other one over here. Certified, yeah, Certified. They're more like plug and play. Somebody rebuilds, most of them rebuild somewhere else, and then they just take the ones out and put them in. I call it plug and play. But like I say, check out Cotman's. That guy seemed, and a guy that used to run around with over on the Kansas side. He actually had his vehicle done there. Said he did a good job on his vehicle too. Another thing, if anybody's looking for parts for automatic or standard, I also found something else. There's a deal, it's called Trans Parts. There's one in California, and then there's one in Corpus Christi, Texas, on a Padre Island Drive. Talked to them yesterday too, and down in Texas, down in there. Didn't have it, but they were real informative. I would say if anybody's looking for parts for an automatic or standard, start there. It's called Trans Parts Warehouse. Now, I can't think of the one I went up here. Amco is the one referred to. They got a warehouse here in Kansas City that distributes around to all the different, like, transmission shops here in the area. I can't think of the one up on 40 Highway. I went up there, talked to them. They told me that they don't deal with any standard transmissions anymore. There's still lots of standard transmissions on the road, whether they like it or not, and a lot of vehicles. I mean, you got Nissans, you got Toyotas and stuff. I just can't imagine not being able to work on the standards there, or they probably figure it's not worth their while because they ain't making enough money, I would imagine. But like I say, I would recommend it. Over here at Cotman, Amco was informative. Check them out. They were busy over there. Certified, I didn't go by there, but like I say, I had, way back, I used to use them. Let's see here. So we had a Chevy pickup truck. We had a couple times, a couple of my Camaros there, basically. We had transmissions put in. But they never seemed to last that long. They only seemed to make it maybe, I don't know, 30, 40,000 miles, and they'd go out. I can tell you guys another story real quick, too. My dad had a Cadillac Coupe de Ville, and right off 23rd Street in a 291 up here, used to be a place called Frank and Ed's Auto and Transmission Repair. And this is the thing. I mean, these guys seem like they were on the up and up, but there's guys. So there's some guys that get lazy and they don't look at things that they're doing. But let me go on with this real quick for a second. We get it back. Now I had a 70. I had a couple three. I had a 75, 76 Camaro, 71 Camaro. I was a Camaro guy myself, but a K5 Blazer I had. But I was driving it. My dad asked me to. I forget. I had to go somewhere, get something for him. And he said, just take my car. So I go over there. I don't know. Maybe it was something for food or something like that, or something sandwich or something. I don't know. But I get the Cadillac out. Now, this is just after we got it back. And I get over here off of Nolan Road. And it looks like I just blew an engine. I mean, it just started making sounds, and it looked like I just blew an engine. And it was a transmission. Just had it rebuilt. So we get it back over there, had it towed back over there. And then they were trying to say I was hot rodding it. Now, I didn't need to be hot rodding a Cadillac Coupe de Ville. I had my own vehicle, and I wouldn't have been doing that anyway like that. But what caused it? They didn't magnaflux the gears. You gotta look. You gotta make sure those gears don't have any cracks. And one of the main gears in there broke, and that whole transmission just flew apart. Now they did make it good, but we had to go round and round on them because they were trying to say like we were racing it or something. Well, in this day and age with these people where they are, yeah, maybe, but not then, not like that. But just another thing about transmissions there, guys. So, like I say, if anybody out there has any knowledge of where a part might be like this, you know, send me a message on the deal or even on here on YouTube. Let me know. If not, I guess I'm going to button it up and maybe the parts will be good for somebody else. I'll sell it. But my deal is eyes open, 3 a.m. at gmail.com. And like I say, looking for that part. And if not, I'll be looking for another cheap car. And oh boy, we'll be doing some YouTube videos on that because I've already looked around and it's not looking promising here in Kansas City. They're still doing what they always did. And that's, we got people buying these vehicles and these car dealerships. They snatch these cars up. And what kills me, they got 20 cars and it's like, oh, I just got this car, or I got 6,000 miles on the vehicle, and, then I decided to sell it. No, they went to auction and bought them. And they don't even know what they got, but they figure they're going to turn them and make a profit on it. That's what they're doing. So, we'll be getting into that later on if I can't find this part. And like I say, hopefully I can find the part, but I have my doubts now. But like I say, I went all around the world looking for that part, and I can't find it. But like I say, what's amazing is they said 50% of the Suzuki Aerios crack like that, and you would have thought there would have been a supply of different ones all around everywhere to get a hold of. Anyway, guys, I'm going to give it one day, and I'm going to button her back up, and then I'm going to start looking. So, anybody got any free cars out there, just throw them my way. Anyway, keep your eyes open, and have a good one.